But honestly, Carlos, I'm just excited for this team. I really am. So let's get right into the 4-time back-to-back NFC South champion, led by none other than Baker Mayfield. This Tampa team, they're the team to beat in the South. Let's just be honest with you. And dare I say, I think that they are probably the third best team in the NFC this season. So, outside of the Eagles and the Lions, this Bucs team, I think that they are really rearing up to go. We got injured last year, not as bad as the Lions. Definitely did not get hit like the Lions did. But we missed some key players. Dude, Godwin played 7 games, had almost 600 yards in 5 touchdowns or something like that. He was on pace to have an incredible season, and I was highly upset because I had him on my fantasy team. So definitely made some poor decisions after that because I came pretty desperate for another wide receiver, and I ended up giving away my best running back. So, but that's neither here nor there. When they went out, at first I wasn't happy with the Emeka Egbuka pick because I felt like that we definitely needed to, there was so many good defensive backs, and we desperately need help to stop this passing attack, especially in today's NFL. Everyone wants to pass the ball. We're good with running the ball. You want to try and run it on us? That's no problem. We can stop that, especially now.
There's that thing in the middle that's unmovable.
Exactly. We got Vita Vea in the middle there. So, but Jason Light, Todd Bowles, they just got an extension. Baker Mayfield, this team, they're humming right now, man, and they are rallying together. This is something that Tampa has not seen pretty much in the history of Tampa. We've had consistent coaching, consistent quarterbacks, consistent of everything outside of offensive coordinators because they just continue to get hired as head coaches. But this team right here, I think that they're going to be 5-time NFC South champions by the end of the year. I don't see anybody's topping them. Okay. And I'm super, super excited to see what this Emeka Egbuka kid does because he's a hell of a wide receiver.
No, I think it's interesting, and then us having a little bit of insight, somebody inside the Bucs organization that we know, like saying that Godwin may not be ready to go, and that's the reason for drafting Egbuka. So that kind of hurts. Is Egbuka Godwin? We've yet to see. I do think it's a young team that they have, but it's the mix of is good with Levante David, so they give you that good mix. Here's my thing with the winning the NFC 5 times in a row. It's the worst division in the NFC. You're gonna have 3 teams most likely under 500, and one team might not win 3 games this year. So it is good, but the Bucs are ahead of the class. Like they are good, really good. They're going to put some points up. My only question mark is the secondary. Is Benjamin Morrison going to be the guy that they draft? Is he going to be able to play well? They were banged up. Some guys get banged up and they stop. They can't stop being banged up. So they get Jacob Parrish as the nickel. Let's see what he does. But they got some good budding stars like Cansey's been doing very well.
Yeah.
My other thing is they get Hassan Riddick, which is good. But which one are you getting? You getting Jets, Riddick?
Or are you getting Philly?
Which one are you getting here? And I think he'll have that chip on his shoulder, but a chip can get knocked off your shoulder really quick. So,
it seems like everyone is gunning for him, right? Because he did skip out on some OTAs there, and everyone was like, "Oh, where's Hassan Riddick?" This, and it's like, okay, guys, he is a veteran, first of all, so these OTAs aren't necessarily mandatory. Now, it is good to show up, especially if you're new to the team, which he did. But I mean, he did mention like, "Hey, like I had it already pre-planned that I was going to be missing these days." Coach Bowles knows. Now, of course, that's what he says to the press.
Is he Aaron Rodgers?
We don't
this
know.
Thing? Did Aaron Rodgers say that with the Jets?
Something. Aaron Rodgers got like married and had a whole bunch of other craziness going on that we didn't know about. So that guy just wants to stay as private as possible anymore.
They got really good pieces though. Like they have those pieces to make a run
Yeah.
here. So the offense looks good. Is Baker going to be able to pull the same season off he had back to back? I am a big Baker Mayfield fan. The guy plays with a ton of grit. I love it. He's that old school guy, like kind of a guy, but he can run, he can do a lot of good things. And then Evans is Evans. I don't know anybody that hates Mike Evans except Marshawn Lattimore.
Fair.
They're good.
Very
Bucky Irving turned it on. They got a lot of good pieces here. And I think they're an 11 to 13 win team. And it's mainly because they could literally sweep the division. The division is not good. So, and I don't even, we'll get to Atlanta here soon, but they got a lot of good things going on. I do have something funny. Here's the what a Bucs fan looks like throughout the year for folks that aren't Bucs fans. Week 1 and 2, we're great. We love Todd Bowles. They're killing it. Week 5 to 6 to 7. What is Todd Bowles doing? We got to get rid of this guy. I hate him. Why did we sign him to an extension? And then, okay, he's doing good. Week 13, 14. The guy never, ever gets mad. He just sits there and doesn't say anything. All right, we're in the playoffs. We're done. So it's like this. It's such a up and down of it kills
Tampa
me.
fans are very emotional. I will attest to that. That is very true. Tampa fans are very emotional, and they do call for Todd Bowles' job at least 3 to 4 times a year.
Easily. Why doesn't he get mad? Why doesn't he smile? Why doesn't? I'm just like, oh man, I gotta cut my social media off. It's just...
he's definitely a steady Eddie. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeves like a lot of us Tampa fans do. But I mean, really, this team, and I understand it's the NFC South. It's a weak division. I get that. We don't choose the division that we're in. We're just going to dominate wherever we are. Here's the other thing, though. So
it's been a weak division for 8 years.
Listen, I know, and half of that time we've been kings of it, so I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. The other thing, though, is that everyone has question about this with Baker Mayfield. There's always this question over Baker Mayfield's head ever since he came. Well, I mean, really, his whole career. But I've been noticing it because he's been here in Tampa now for the past... What has it been? Has it been 3 seasons now or 2?
2. Because he had that stint with the Rams.
So it's been 2 years. But everyone was just like, oh, it was Baker Mayfield, and it was a contract extension. He's not going to play as well. Well, he did better last year than he did his first year around. Now, granted, we did get, we were one and done in the playoffs, unlike the year before where we ended up going to Detroit and losing a heartbreaker there. But I mean, the Commanders went into Detroit and beat them and went all the way to the NFC Championship game. So I don't necessarily feel too bad about losing to the Commanders. But this question, I'm wondering if this question is ever going to die down. Will this question ever stop about Baker Mayfield? Oh, well, yeah, he had a great season last year, but can he put it again together this year? Well, he has a new offensive coordinator. Is it really going to happen? I think we're getting the best Baker Mayfield his entire career. I mean, he's looking like the Oklahoma Baker Mayfield. And I mean, Tampa's his home. He's found a place. He's settled down, and he's been able to, he's definitely matured over his career. But I just want to know, will it ever stop, or will it always be a question mark?
It should not be a question mark with this guy, because to be able to survive his years in the Browns organization and come out of it with any confidence or anything, that just shows that he's got, his mentality is really high. Quarterbacks go to the Browns to die. That's where your career ends. You're going to the Browns. Just retire.
That's why Sanders was doing 100, bro.
Yeah,
he was like, I can't take it anymore.
Just cut me. He was doing 100 out of Cleveland. That's when they left out. He was doing 101 out of Cleveland, heading east or west or somewhere. He was like, I'm just out of here. You can cut me now. I'll play 1 year Canadian football. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, the guy, he played hard in Cleveland. It's Cleveland, unfortunately, Cleveland fans. And it's just, I think he's going to have another good year. I'm a Baker fan. Man, he shows up to play. He's about his teammates. I think I've never heard anything bad, especially us being local, that Baker's, not leading that locker room. So I feel like he repeats it. I think the Bucs have a good year. They got to be able to make this playoff push.
And the way that he's handled this transition, it's not like he got the Bucs after Jameis Winston or after Mike Glennon. He got Tampa after Tom Brady. After Tom Brady came and completely changed, had the super team built in Tampa. I mean, at one point in Tampa, we had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady. That was our offense.
Yeah.
It's stupid, right? And then on the defensive side, Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong, Vita Vea. So we just had so many. Devin White when he was actually good. So it was like, and the transition was seamless. I mean, just absolutely seamless. And the way that because now some of these guys, some of those veterans have had contract extensions. So they've bought into what Baker is trying to do here. I love Baker Mayfield. I'm glad that he has found a home here in Tampa. I'm glad with that. I'm very happy with Jason Light. His draft resume speaks for itself. Todd Bowles, I'll hate him in week 5, but right now I like him. I'm happy that he got an extension. But I think this team is the team to beat. Until someone dethrones them, they are going to be the team, and I will say it again. I think they're going to be the 3rd best team in the NFC this year, if not 2nd.
That's bold, man. You got the Eagles, the Commanders, the Lions, the Rams. That's bold, but
it is bold.
Nobody wants to go into the season and go, man, I think our team's around 8th best. So
yeah,
but no,
all right, Dallas. Yeah. We'll compete. Don't worry about it.
I will say with Jason Light, he does. It could have been very easily just like, hey, let's see if Godwin comes back. Let's have some faith and let's really attack the defense. But for them to have the foresight and just go, you know what, we know what the strongest part of our team is, and it was at its best with Godwin. So let's bring in Ibuka, and we don't need the defense to be great. It just needs to bend, not break. So,
yeah.
I think they're at that point where that defense is probably going to give up low 20s a game, but that the hope is the offense scores in the low 30s. So, I mean, which is not a bad thing on there. It's just at some point you'll run into an elite defense deep in the playoffs or an elite offense. So we'll see how that works out for the Bucs. But it can be done. I think they've done a good job with their playing. And if Hassan Riddick plays like he did in Philly, man, that guy coming off the edge is going to be he's going to be
nasty.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing though about, and you know what? Hey, look. All right, we're gonna hang on Tampa here for just a little bit. If you don't like it, there's a little chapter menu down there so you can skip to your team. But Jason Light, it's so easy to like jump to conclusion with some of the draft picks because we saw it, right? Why did you get Ibuka? You had who was it? Will Johnson.
Will Johnson.
Like Will Johnson was still there, right? He fell all the way to the 2nd round and got picked up by the Cardinals. But he's definitely trusting, like Chris Braswell. Is he going to develop? Because he didn't do anything last year, right? We got him last year. Yaya Diaby. He's shown sparks of greatness, but he's not been consistent. Kalijah Cansey now has been very consistent when he's out there. So that is the one young bright spot on that defensive line. But it's like, okay, now we got Hassan Riddick. So Jason went all in on this Ibuka pick and just said, hey, I'm going to trust the guys that I have here. And, ended up doing that. Benjamin Morrison. I think Benjamin Morrison is going to eventually be DB number 1 in Tampa. I don't know if Jamel Dean stays after this year. I think it's his contract year. I don't know if he's going to stay. I don't know if he should stay. He's been good at some points, but then other times he hasn't been good. So, but he was a part of that 2020 Super Bowl run. So, we shall see. But until they're dethroned, Tampa Bay, rise up. We're number 1, 5 years in a row. Let's go. And
Fire the cannons now.
fire the cannons right
Put it in the
now.
books.
Hey, let us know if you're going to be at any Tampa games. We'll probably be there, so we'd love to see fans.